Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Here we are. It's time again. The tubular journey continues. It's been a little while since I've added another to the stack here of the roll of Kennedy half dollars in silver, 90% silver indeed. And as you know, as part of this, I'm accumulating only the best that I can find that I cherry pick from a local coin shop. And it's nice to be able to do that, to be able to pick the very best to essentially have an uncirculated roll of Kennedy half dollars and 90% silver. In this episode, we're going to talk about exactly what makes these particular coins so special, the Kennedy half dollar, and why they're so beloved for those who stack constitutional silver as quite a unique way to accumulate the precious metal silver for your stacks. Well, there are several reasons why people would want to be attracted to these particular coins. The first is its sheer beauty. Now, it's a very well-designed coin indeed. Love the way Kennedy's head is facing there towards the left. Really, in a sense, that position of the head is facing more towards the west and towards the future, because typically what happens is when the head or eagle, such as with the $20 St. Gaudens double eagle gold coin, the eagle is facing west towards westward expansion. Well, by 1964, surely the country had expanded far enough, and we had all 50 states, but nonetheless, it is sort of symbolic to looking towards the future, and that kind of gives us an idea of the symbolic meaning. At least that's my interpretation thereof, because only months earlier, when these coins started hitting the markets, or hitting the commerce, Kennedy had been assassinated. So this is a way for his legacy to continue on, to tell Americans that the future is bright, and to look forward to the future indeed. The beautiful composition of this coin, with just the right amount of negative space, with Liberty behind the head here, and the flowing hair design. And there's just enough detail, but yet not enough to make it a spaghetti hair or to distract from the design and beauty. From everything from the ear to the neckline, a very accurate representation, even from the wrinkles in the face and so on. In God We Trust, there, it is inscribed there, just above the date, 1964, with Liberty spreading out, really filling up the space here on this side, on the obverse of the coin. Very nicely done. It almost has sort of a concave sort of appearance to the fields that gives it more of a deep sculpted look. And you really see this as you turn the coin on its edge there, towards its edge in a 3/4 position there. Speaking of edge, it does have a reeded edge, which is not uncommon for coins of the United States at all the way around the reeded edge, just the right number of reeds to give that good grip, and for all the reasons why there are reeds indeed on coins. And then for the first time ever, we see on the reverse of a United States coin the presidential seal, which so happens to have a bald eagle here. And this is probably the side of the coin that is as least favored, because there's not as much detail. It's great high relief, but as you can see, there's some detail lacking in the feathers and in the eagle itself, where I think that they could have done a much better job in providing that detail along with the relief. This particular coin is minted in Denver, and you can see the mint mark here next to the olive branch, which is held in the eagle's right talons there. And then on the eagle's left is the arrows. We hope for peace, but we prepare for war. Very nice indeed. And then there's a star surrounding it, and the United States of America is inscribed there in the top, and then half dollar is inscribed there in the bottom, and 2 dots in between. So just a great composition, very nice even design, great symmetry, and a perfect complement, I think, to the obverse, in my view. Very nice indeed. And so it's just a beautiful coin. So the beauty is the number one thing, I think, that, one of the first things, not necessarily in that order, but the number two thing, which I think makes this so special, is that there's only 1 year. This is the only silver coin in the modern age, at least, for the United States of America, where it's only a 1 year 90% silver issue. And so you know that if you find one of these and it says 1964, it's a silver, 90% silver Kennedy half. Because from the years 1965 to 1970, they were 40% silver. And so it's unmistakable. And so if you ever in a bind or need to liquidate these, it's very easily discerned with just the date alone. Because sometimes when you look at a 40% silver, it's difficult to tell from the edge at times. Some of them are easier to tell than others, but nonetheless, the date gives it away for sure. So that's the number two reason. It's quite unique in that fashion because it's the only single year 90% silver $half with this design, with Kennedy on it and the eagle as such there. The other thing is that a lot of these were hoarded. That's number three, which means that a lot of these are in pristine condition. You can find these. There's a lot of them out there, and you can find them for, not much over spot price, because there are so many of these out there in uncirculated condition that people had hoarded and kept, that they were in pristine condition, which means that you can get your full money's worth out of silver for these. That's not the case with barber $half, especially in most cases. Those in high grade command quite a hefty premium, and walking Liberty $half command a premium, some relatively hefty for those that are in great shape, and even as such, you can find some in good condition or very good condition and still pay a bit of a premium just because of what they are. Franklin $half, you can find those in pretty decent shape for not a lot of money, but still, it's sort of hit or miss. The 1964 Kennedy $half, your chances of finding them in uncirculated condition for not a lot over spot is pretty good. So it's a great way to accumulate uncirculated. Brilliant uncirculated is what I'm collecting here, and this particular coin cost me $6. And that's not really a bad price for constitutional silver. And it helped me get my journey to fill this tube up one more at a time. So these are very, very special coins. Those are the three biggest reasons why I would accumulate them. But there's a fourth, and that is recognizability. It's highly recognized around. Since the Kennedy $half has been minted since 1964. It's still minted today, although they've not been minted for circulation since, I think, 2002, maybe a little bit earlier. And even as such, most of the 90s and early 2000s were barely out there. They really didn't circulate, so they took them out of circulation. But very recognizable, and very recognizable because of the large surface area. It's much easier to tell a clad $half from a silver $half as such. And then for the 40%ers, well, all you have to do is just look at the date. So recognizability is a huge part of what makes the Kennedy $half so special. So there you have it. I hope that helped answer some questions. I know there's a lot of people out here in the community who do stack these $half, and probably some of the reasons I mentioned are why. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and continue to stack on, my friends. Oops, I forgot to put it in the tube. After all, it would not be a tubular journey if we couldn't actually put it in the tube. There you go. Another Kennedy $50 to the tube.